Okay. Let's close that out. See if anybody's there. I am 1 minute early. Hello, Miss Kia. KRW Beauty and Nature is in the house. Good evening. Welcome to my weekly Monday night live chat. I'm happy that you're all here. Hey, Miss Nene. Thank you for coming in. Let's see, we have Unicorn Lady Tech. Junior grows it. GT Junior grows it from Alaska. Hoyt Robinson, thank you for being here. Tiny Texas Garden. Tiny Texas Garden. I've been watching a lot of your videos. Hey, Miss Garden in Eden. Miss Queenie's Playroom. Hello. Hypercentric. Glad you're here. And let's see. Jean Dudley is in the house. Denise Backyard Garden, Karen Witherspoon, Sam's Garden and such. All right. Thank you guys for being here. We're starting exactly on time at 7 o'clock. Okay, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today. As you know, I did two basic canning seminars for a library in New York. Some of you attended it. And yeah, they went really well. People are really getting into canning. Let's see. Did I speak to Karen Witherspoon? Yankee Sister is in the house. Roots, Shoots, and Garden Boots is here. Angela Bowden. How you doing, Angela? Stinky Puddle Ranch is here. Yeah, so a lot of people are really getting into gardening and preserving their food. Hey, Debbie Epps, thank you for being here. And I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing to see. So tonight I'm going to talk about canning. I'm going to talk about specifically pressure canning. And I'll answer any questions about canning, period. And then I'm going to let you know that I am going to have a Zoom canning class for pressure canning for beginners on April the 11th at noon. The class will be $30. You can look on my any video except the one tonight because I haven't edited yet and find my email address, which I'll just say it. It is Cheryl's. Let me repeat that again. That's the wrong thing. It's Lady Cheryl's, with the S, no apostrophe, naturalproducts@gmail.com. If you're interested in the class, you can pay me through my Cash App or through my PayPal account. $30 for a 2-hour class. Sometimes it goes over. I don't care. I will still be there to help you. And if you're interested, let me know. A lot of people have been asking me about it, so now I'm making it official. I'm booking it for April the 11th. Hi, Ty Lily. Hey, Mona. Veggie Farm is in the house. Yolanda is in the house. Denise, I already spoke to you. Karen Witherspoon and Myra McCain. Thank you. Good evening to you all. So that's what I'm basically going to go over with you all tonight. Some of the canning procedure. I'm going to tell you that my containers for my pain cream is supposed to be delivered, the shipment, on Friday of this week. So those 3 people that I told you guys that I was going to send you the cream, I will be sending it out to you And anybody else, I'll have the opportunity to put it on my website. I think Saturday is when I got that penciled in. Okay? Hey, peanut peppers. Boy, you having a time with that new dog, and I know that's a lot of expense, but I know that you don't mind because you love animals. And it really shows in how well you take care of them, Peanut. Thank you for being here. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to tell you, it's going to be in my video on Wednesday. Hey, nephew broke farmer. It's going to be in my video for Wednesday. I'm really excited because I bought 13 fruit trees for only $5 each from a Facebook group, guy in the group. And he said these trees were native or they grow well in Texas. So I bought these trees 2 years ago and none of them has produced any fruit. But this year I severely pruned some damaged branches and some that weren't damaged from my mulberry tree. And I was so excited while I was out there watering this morning. I noticed I've got mulberries. And I mean, I whacked that tree down because it was extending way over in my neighbor's yard. And he didn't complain, him or his wife, but I just want to keep the trees wide, but short, where I can manage them. And I've learned a lot about growing little fruit trees. Let me get it on an angle so you can see it. From this book that I got on Amazon, Growing Little Fruit Trees. Because you don't necessarily, can you all see that? You don't necessarily have to buy a dwarf tree in order to grow a little tree. You just got to prune it. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. And I have a wood chipper that can chip up anything that is 3 inches diameter, a little bit bigger than this. And I'll use those wood chips in the food forest, okay? Let's see, who else is here? Deborah Smith is here. Joyce Moore is here. I think I spoke to Yankee's sister, but I'm not sure. So I'll speak to you again, Yankee sister. And let's see. And you have that book, Tiny Texas Garden. Yeah, it is wonderful. And I try to pass on anything that I learn. There we go. Anything that I can learn, I pass it on. I was in the library in Dallas in a Zoom class last week. I think it was Monday. Might have been Tuesday. I don't remember, guys. I have so much on my schedule. And I was in it on the week before about health and nutrition and growing organic food. And this one was about how to grow organic food or what companion plants you can use and all that and natural fertilizer. And while I was in the class, I was screenshotting. I probably said this before. I was screenshotting and I give all this information out to my you know what I'm trying to say, my Facebook group. And it's the same name as my YouTube channel. And if I wanted to have a big channel, not big channel, big Facebook group, I could have one. I don't want it out because a lot of drama comes with that, and people get like impatient if you can't get to them right away. But when I keep it small, it seems like it's more of a family affair, and anybody can jump in and answer a question. A lot of times the questions are directed specifically to me, but I get to them as fast as I can. So if any of you are in here tonight and you had a question for me personally, and I couldn't get to you until 6 o'clock, you got to understand, please be patient with me. Because I'm doing a lot of things, okay? And I have that food for us, and everybody is busy. I'm not whining or complaining. Every YouTube content creator is very busy right now, either growing our seedlings, hardening off our seedlings, or transplanting our seedlings and praying that we don't get another freeze, or if we do, that God would protect our crops. praying that the winds aren't real high or we get a thunderstorm that will rip to shreds our seedlings like mine, like happened to mine. But I'm going to tell you guys what I do. I plant more than I need. I plant to give away. So I mentioned in my video that I was filming today that basically I have a backup in the greenhouse. And then I have whatever God blesses me outside of the greenhouse, because the veggies, I can plant them earlier than people in Facebook groups for my area, North Texas. And because every year they say, how do you get tomatoes that quick? And every year I explain to them, I don't wait until the so-called Easter snap and after Easter. Because Easter, guys, you know, Easter coming early this year. I think it came early last year too. So you really can't go on that. If you have the ability to plant into a greenhouse or containers where you could move them in the garage for a couple of days, you don't have to wait for all of these when the mesquite trees start budding and all this kind of stuff, guys. You know, I'm just telling you. I do believe in taking knowledge and experience from the old school, what they call them, old timers, whatever you want to call them. I guess I'm one of them now too. Yeah, I'll be 67. I'm one of the old timers. But some of it, you got to understand that we are in a climate change and things happen. We never, in the 30 years that I've been in this home, and I lived in North Dallas for 3 years. I lived in Fort Worth a year and a half, and Arlington a year and a half. So I think it's like 36 years that I've been a resident of Texas. We've never had any cold temperatures down to 3 degrees. I lost a lot of fruit trees, but somebody told me to plant more than you need. And that's the theme of tonight. Plant more than you need so you won't be devastated when they die. And I found another tree today that's coming out of dormancy, and I shared one with you in my last video that's finally coming out of dormancy. And I'm going to be sharing you every time I see something, you know, because it's exciting. It's exciting. You cannot dwell on everything that goes wrong, and you cannot be a flip-flopper. You're going to garden today, but you got hailstorms, so, oh, I'm giving it up. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. You never, ever, ever give up. And you don't even associate or be around people that think you're crazy because you want to grow your own food, or think you're crazy because you're messing up your backyard like, you know, some people thought I was. But look at us now. Look how we handled ourselves during the pandemic. I didn't want for anything. And the little stuff that I did need, my kids and son-in-law and daughter-in-law, instead of daughter-in-law, son-in-law, play on words, they brought stuff to me, like laundry detergent, that type of thing. I was really, really blessed. And I'm going to tell you, once you've gone through any tough situation, you are thankful for what you have and for what people do for you. So I'm still going to give food away, but I'm not going to do that whole big emergency garden. But I always plant more than I need in case something happens. I'm not going to be devastated and fall apart. Well, does it hurt when you lose a tree? Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, but you don't just keep dwelling in negativity. You keep on pushing. You keep going. The race isn't given to the swift, neither the strong, but to the one that endures to the end. And don't worry about what everybody is doing. Don't compete with nobody but yourself. Okay, enough of that. I know y'all tired probably of me already. But check this book out. It will show you that you don't have to have all of that space. Let me get it again. I had it. There we go. You don't need a whole lot of space like you think you do in order to have a food forest or a fruit orchard in your backyard. Okay? All right. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, where's my phone? The canning class, the paint cream, I already said it. Who was that came in here? Sha-na-na, Urban Garden Girl, and my nephew, Poe Farmer, 76, Lazy Liz. I'm having a pressure canning Zoom class. I'm going to try to do it with Zoom. I hope nobody gets nervous. My But all I want is 6 people. It's $30 a class, and we're going to do it April 11th. And I'll hold your hand and walk you through the whole thing. Okay? And you all know my email address is Cheryl's. No. I'm so used to saying Cheryl's Organic Food for us, or Cheryl's Products, because that's what my company was named. And I just put the lady in front of it. Lady Cheryl's Natural Products at gmail.com. And my website for my skincare and hair care and candles is LadyCherylsProducts.com. Okay, everybody got it? Hey, Angela. How you doing? Hi, Growing with Donnie. Hi, Be Me. Oh, I like that. Be Me. I think I told you that before. Andrea Lucas is here. Gardner 99 is here. And I think I spoke to everybody else. That's right, Miss Nene. Learn as much as you can. And then you'll be prepared for anything. Now, let's talk about current events. We know that big, what do you call it? That tanker. You all know what I'm talking about. Somebody help me, because sometimes hi Joyce, I'm glad you're here. Sometimes I get a little brain freeze. That's in the Suez Canal. And they say every day that big old, I guess it's called a ship, is stuck, merchants lose billions of dollars a day. Now, what do you all think is going to happen when they lose money? Come on, somebody write it down. Because I know you know. They are going to pass that loss on to the consumers. So we are going to be paying more for items. Hey, Dan. We're going to be paying more for items because the merchants are going to lose money. So thank you, Audrey Patterson. Everything, and I do mean everything, is going up. Right, Tasha? Right, Gene Dudley? Right, my nephew, Emilio? Inflation. Everything's going to go up. So I told my daughter, I called her right before I went on, well, about an hour before I went on, and I said, all your little things like toilet paper, paper towel, extra meat, blah, 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 when it's on sale, get it now. And she said, what you talking about, Mom? I said, about that shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. See, last time, because I'm in a lot of international gardening groups, we knew about the pandemic before it became a pandemic. And we started getting ready, okay? We didn't wait until they shut the city down and said only essential workers could go out and go to work and blah, blah, blah. So I knew about it. I passed it on to my children. My daughter said she went back and she told her colleagues, my mama tripping. Talking about people going to be running out of toilet paper and stuff like that. And then when it happened, thank God my son-in-law took warning from me and it stopped up. But this time she didn't play with me. Like, why, Mama? So, okay, now, give me the facts. She didn't do none of that. She knew that Mama was telling her the truth. Buy locally and trade with growers. That's right, Joyce. During a pandemic, San Diego gas is already high, says Deborah Smith. We will be paying for the next 5 years for everything, V Solo says. I agree. Everything's going to go up. So if you see a good deal on something right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't hardly eat pork. And I don't have no problem with people that eat pork. But I bought a ham yesterday because I went into the grocery store and I felt uncomfortable because, I just order everything. But I wanted to get some fresh fruit. So I went to the local store. And they had ham, 59 cents a pound. I bought one. I'm going to trim that ham and get as much of that fat off as I can. I'm going to boil it to get the salt out of it that they cure it with. And I'm going to slice that ham up and put it in the freezer. And occasionally, if I want to eat a ham sandwich or make a ham salad, or my grandkids come over and I don't feel like cooking or warming up nothing, I'm going to take that out and just, you all know what I'm saying. 59 cents a pound. That ham is going to be 99 or $1.29 a pound in a couple of days. Mark my words. Okay? I give it to after Easter that everything is going to go up. And like V Solo said, we are going to be paying for it. Hey, Wanda B. Hey, Eco Neighbor. Hey, Crystal. Girl, you know you are very, very creative. I've been watching your videos too. You and like I was saying, Peanut with the animals. It's amazing. And even though the ship is free, they will use it being stuck as an excuse to jack up the prices. That's right, Ty Lily. But we're going to stay ahead of the game. That's why I want to get back to talking about candy again. Because, one, I did those 2 classes for the library in New York, and there were people from different parts of the country, and some people in my Facebook group, and even on this YouTube channel were there. But I'm saying, get ready again. I don't want to sound like one of those conspiracy spreaders or whatever, but I think we're living in difficult times where there's going to be more pandemics and more things that's going to give us a warning to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. So if you all in here for gardening and you are already gardening, you might as well learn how to preserve it. And it's okay to give food away, but you need to keep some for your family too, okay? Lazy Liz Life says she would recommend the Presto canner. Yeah, because see, they finally gone back down on the prices of those canners, Lazy Liz. They jacked them all up when everybody shut down. You couldn't get American canner. You couldn't hardly find a Presto canner because everybody all of a sudden wanted to learn how to preserve food. Just like in garden centers, there used to be a surplus of stuff. You can't hardly find stuff in the stores, but you can find it in some places. Like Target never had seeds and that type of stuff. Some of the Targets are now putting it in. So all of the prices have gone back down to normal, but I'm telling y'all, mark my word, that ship in the Suez Canal is going to make people think again. And where are the Liz Gardener 99? I know, because I'm in several canning groups on Facebook. And some people get upset, excuse me, when someone has a friend that looks out for them. You know how you make friends at your local grocery stores? And you may have a friend that will let you know when the lids were delivered, and people go in and buy cases of them. And some people said that's selfish. I don't think so. I think it's forewarned is forearmed. You should be making friends with people in the stores. How many of you all get free plant containers? Like in the grocery store, they have the flower section and the balloons, and you go and you ask them, or you go into Starbucks, you ask them for coffee. Make friends with people. That store I went into, I'm not calling any names, I asked the lady, do they have any empty containers? Be honest with you all, I don't need any. Because when I had my thyroid surgery about 6 years ago, I couldn't bend over or anything, so my kids helped me, and I planted everything in 5-gallon buckets. So I got a lot of them. I got a lot of buckets, okay? But I just asked. The lady looked at me like I was nuts. Okay? But I know for a fact, some of you all in this chat right now have gotten those buckets free. Okay? All right. Yes, who said that? Ace Hardware, Growing with Donnie. Double check the looked over stores for canning supplies and gardening supplies. Ace Hardware, True Value. You're exactly right. Bed, Bath, and Beyond. I used to post every time I found out canners were in stock. I would post it to the community board in YouTube, and then I would tell people about it in my Facebook group. So don't be afraid to ask. They can only say no. We don't have any, or they gave it to somebody else. And if you're really smart, you can just make friends with them and say, well, can I give you my number if you should get some more in, blah, 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 blah. And everybody has a phone, and just put it in there. Don't be afraid to ask, okay? All right. It's just because it's freed, it is still, free. It's still going to be weeks before the containers reach their destination. That's right. That's exactly right, Tommy. Hi, V Solo. I don't know if I spoke with you. So keep your eyes out for the jars and the lids. Okay? All right. Let me see if I covered all my topics before I start letting you all answer questions. Ask questions. Don't forget to write down April 11th at noon Central Time if you're interested in that class. I'm going to take you through pressure canning, and we're going to pack chicken. We're going to raw pack chicken, and you can review my video on raw packing chicken. Any recommendations for a dehydrator? Yes, now, I've had some ones that weren't that expensive, but just before I got ready to retire, I bought what I consider the top of the line of everything that I would need. And I bought the 9-tray Excalibur dehydrator, because it's big. So I don't even keep it in my kitchen. I keep it in the grow room on the shelf with all my canning and dehydrating and all that kind of stuff, supplies. But it has a nice temperature dial on it and a cooling fan in the inside. So it's not real quiet, but it does the job. That's my recommendation. There may be some others who want to recommend something for you. Okay? Okay, don't forget, guys, put your questions in all caps so when I go back, I can find it. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Tommy, I retracted one thing that you said, and I'll tell you why I did that later. Yankee sister says she's been procrastinating on canning some peas. Got to get on it. They're so easy. Once you start doing it. Let me tell you another question that came up in that class I did Thursday for New York. People were asking me, were those generic lids any good? I've never used them. I've had people to say that they don't work or they have problems with faulty seals. I don't know, but some people say they work fine. But I recommend Balls and Care. And by the way, they're the same company. They merge. Okay. What types of jars are best? I like Balls, but Care and Balls, they're the same. Okay? I guess I'm a little old-fashioned. Okay, thank you, Renee. Thank you so much, because I didn't put that on my list. And I told you earlier in the day that I was going to talk about it. I added okra. Now, in my zone, 8A in Mesquite, Texas, we don't plant okra until around the end of April, 1st of May. But I planted mine a little early in the greenhouse, and I planted some outside because I'm going to drape something over it should we get another freeze, okay? And the reason why I put the okra in the tea garden, while I'm making that tea garden, I'm going to name it my sanctuary and tea garden, because I have outgrown my special place in the food forest, so I'm making another one where I can go out and meditate, watch the butterflies. So I'm naming it my sanctuary and tea garden. So there are going to be some things planted in there just because I like to look at it, just because they attract pollinators, bees and butterflies and hummingbirds, that type of thing. So it's not just going to be my tea garden. I said that already. Sanctuary and tea garden. And I put okra there, and I'm leading up to something. Because I learned from a nurse about 4 years ago that okra water helps to lower your glycemic index to keep your sugar levels down. And my mother died of complications of diabetes. and I had a brother that passed away. So what does that say to me? That I'm predisposed to it. And at one time, I had that, I think it's A1C, had gotten all the way up to 6.7. They were threatening to put me on medication. This is about 10 years ago or longer. And when I went through to the doctor for the first time during the pandemic, I think it was January of this year, my lab work was wonderful. My A1C is 6.3. 7.0, you're diabetic and you have to go on medication or just around there. You know, you could be like 6.8 and you're predisposed to it, they'll put you on medication. So, getting back to the okra water, that nurse told me that okra water would lower the glycemic index, and I've been drinking it ever since. And so I believe it was Renee. She wanted to know, how do you make it? And this is what I do. How many of you have grown a lot of okra and you go out there and you harvest it maybe in the morning, at night? Once it gets about that big, it seems like overnight it's about that big, right, guys? It just grows so quick. And you may miss one or two. So you say, okay, I'll leave that on there and I'll let it go to seed. And that's what I do. And in one of my videos, I showed you all how I was saving my seeds and all that, blah, blah, blah. Well, those that you miss that are a little too hard for you to even boil or fry, slice up and fry or can, take those pods off if you have enough seed and make a vertical part, slice it open and get all those seeds out of there. Put it into your teapot or steep it in water, or if you got one of them little teapots that I got that has like a little cup and has little holes where it will, when you steep it, it'll drain or strain, that's the word. And then you just pour your water over it and just let it steep for 5 minutes and drink that water. Now, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't taste bad. But if you're looking for it to taste like a fine wine, you're not going to like it. But as you get older, and even some young people, you start thinking about what's going to make you healthy, what's going to make you feel better, because you truly are what you eat. And you can put like a tinge of, let's say, honey, or squeeze a little lemon to make it taste a little bit better for you. But I can drink it just like that. Another way you can do it is, if you have fresh okra, you can just slice it up like you're getting ready to stir fry it or batter it for fried okra, and you can just boil it like that and just run it through a strainer if you don't want all that slime, okay? But it doesn't bother me. I hated okra when I was a kid. Now I love it. And these things that I'm telling you work. I don't tell you what somebody told me. I'll tell you they introduced me to it. But when I tell you about how to grow something or do something, I'm telling you what I have experienced. Okay? All right. Okra, also known as gumbo or ladyfingers, is a warm seasoned vegetable. It is a good source of minerals, vitamins, I can never say that word, but antioxidants, that's it, and fiber. And yes, Gardener 99, it does thicken up your sauces, and that's why it's so good in gumbo. And did you all know there is a type of okra, you can buy it off of Baker Creek. I bought it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't like it. The man named it his name is Abigail. I forgot what country he's from, but he grew this type of okra. He let it dry, dehydrate it, and then he grinds it and make coffee out of it. I tried it. I bought the same okra that he sells to Baker Creek, because you know Baker Creek buys from people all over the world, their seeds. And I didn't like it at all. So I just make the okra water. Hi, T Pitts, thank you for being here. The sweet spot made it, thank you. I appreciate you. And Angela Bai said her sister was just diagnosed with diabetes, so this is a blessing. Okra water, that's right. High blood pressure, we're gonna grow the hibiscus tea. Predisposed to diabetes, okra water. High cholesterol, the bay leaf. Every month, I try to share or introduce or remind some people of some healthy things that we could be growing on our own to get off all of this medication. Okay, Okra Water. I'm going back and I'm going to see. Hey, Barefruit Garden, nice to see you. Okra everywhere. They grow fast. I remember watching one of your videos, and I think it was up against a shed. And you were saying, I can't believe I grew that much okra in that spot. And the good thing about okra, it'll grow in any type of soil. You don't have to go out and buy no big fancy potting mixes like you have to do for, let's say, the Texas Star Hibiscus or your corn or your pea. Well, not peas or beans. You don't need to. They put nitrogen in the soil. I'm just making up some things that you need to have a good soil, draining soil. Carrots, for example. Okra will grow anywhere. Okra will grow in the middle of grass. It's just that strong and easy to grow. Other thing I want to talk about is the marigolds. I'm going to be showing you in my newest video in a few days how marigolds will grow in a crack. Somehow they got out of the garden bed, probably when I was straightening up the bricks and scraping the soil and when I watered the bed, it's probably about 8 little plants, maybe 7 little marigold seeds that I spread when I was realigning my garden beds in the greenhouse. They're growing right in the crack. And some of them have the second set of leaves. So I'm going to show the video. Probably tomorrow I'll shoot that part, and I'm going to prick those seedlings out. And I'm going to put them strategically where I want them, because we know that marigolds have a very pungent smell and most insects don't like them and they will go away. The only thing that I have seen while I'm growing that is attracted to marigolds is whiteflies. And we had a severe infestation of whiteflies in North Texas last year. And you guys know that I told you that the cicadas are going to come out. They've been in the earth for 17 years, and they're going to come out and mate, and then they'll die, and their offsprings will go back into the earth. And they really don't harm your plants and fruit trees like some people try to make you afraid that they're going to do. Okay? All right. Okra everywhere. Hey, Bob Brownlee. Good to see you. Okay, here goes another one. Renee A. I tried growing potatoes. Oh, okay. Breadfruit probably asked about the soil. Okay, I tried growing potatoes last year. Okay, let me stop, because my mind, I told you how my mind spins. Corn is another vegetable that will grow in grass. As long as you feed it enough nitrogen, it'll grow right in your grass. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying I'm seeing videos where they did. Now, let's get back to Renee A. I tried growing potatoes last year in a bucket, and I got nothing. What kind of fertilizers would you recommend? I don't know what I did wrong. Renee, potatoes like bone meal. Anything that had developed a root in the ground, like turnips, radishes, beets, of course, potatoes. I'm thinking rutabaga, anything that grows a root ball and the vegetable actually grows in the earth, put some blood meal in there, okay? And you don't need to keep them real wet, okay? And let me know how that does for you. Yeah, I love okra. I can eat any type of okra. Okay, Gardener 99 wants to know what type of, let me write this. I was doing some research on this about the marigolds. I like the French marigolds. I'm just going to tell you. I like French marigolds for the simple reason they're low on the ground. They're real petite. So when you got little crawling insects, those are good for that. And that's why I'm going to put them around the border of my sanctuary and tea garden bed that I made from a hugelkultur. But I like the African marigolds, and I like these, the French dwarf marigolds. Now, this one will grow 12 inches high, but that petite single flower will grow about 6 inches. I don't like the real tall marigolds, but some of them are pretty. the African marigolds, okay? And another one I like, but I had problems growing it, a lot of them in Texas. As far as the heat is concerned, they didn't stay around as long as these little inexpensive American seeds that you get for 10 cents sometimes. It says 99 cents on the package, but you can get them for $4 in some places, 10 cents. And that one that I told you wasn't that successful in growing because it didn't tolerate the heat well, and that was the Teddy marigold. Okay? But most insects don't like marigolds, but I know for a fact that they being the white flies, would hide in them. Because I would pull it up and shake it, and white flies everywhere. So you got to be careful. So sometimes you're going to have to use some of your marigolds for a sacrificial plant. Okay. American seeds, by the way, these seeds are very inexpensive, and you can look, you don't get a lot of seeds in them, but it's okay. Because once you start growing them, you can get so many seeds. I have videos on collecting seeds. I say saving seeds is like planting money. You should let every plant, at least one of them, go to seed so you can collect that money. It's just free food, free money. Okay? I was going to say something else about marigolds. Yes, marigolds will stay around all through the fall, all through the summer in really hot climates until you get a freeze. Once the temperature reaches 32 degrees, that's it. They won't bloom anymore. The roots will die. So I hope I answered your question, Gardener 99. What are the best marigolds marigolds to grow? I like the French, and then I like this one. I like the double French, where you get 2 or 3 flowers from one. Okay. Yeah, Tommy, they don't have many seeds in those pockets, but that's okay. Those packets, it's okay because you don't really need that many. Somebody said something about Candula. But before that, Tasha Monique, you didn't put your question in all caps. Has anyone planted bushes and bare root blueberries this season? It is the only one I'm having trouble with this season. Stems are still green, but all the leaves turn brown. Where do you live? Did you get hit by a winter storm? Did they sell you a plant that already has freeze or frost damage? It could be a lot of things. That's my answer. Anybody else want to jump in and help her? Feel right at home. Ty Lily said, when you make the okra water, does it make the water a little slimy? No, because you strain it. And then if you take the seeds out of it, like the hard pods, you just boiling or steeping the seeds, it doesn't have that mucilage. Okay? So no, it's not slimy, especially if you strain it. Okay. Yeah, Tommy, the French marigolds that I buy, well, I don't have to buy them anymore because I got a whole lot of seeds. I got them from Baker Creek. And I bought me 1 6-pack and 1 8-pack today, just treating myself for the tea garden because I grew so much from seeds that I thought I'd treat myself. Okay, Tommy said she planted bare root blueberries and it looked like that, and I fed them, and 2 weeks later the leaves are green and extra ones are growing. Very good. I hope that will help you, whoever was asking that. I have not been able to germinate. What? You can't germinate marigold seeds? Marigold seeds are the easiest things to germinate. You need to, do you put them under the light? Because seeds don't need any light to germinate. I know I see a lot of people doing it, but you do not need it. Okay? Just cover them up with about 1 inch of potty mix. Keep it warm. You may need to put it on a heat pad, but they usually germinate in a couple of days. And I just leave some in the soil when I'm pulling up my greens. And Did that in September, and I got marigolds growing all over those beds. Okay? So I'm sorry that was hard for you. Maybe you buried them too deep. Maybe you didn't keep them moist. I don't know. Look at my playlist for starting seeds and see if you can figure it out. Okay. I plant marigolds in and around my garden. This is Barb Brownlee. They keep the rabbits away from my garden area. I just started a 9-cell pack yesterday. And watch, when you come back next week, you're going to tell me they have germinated already. Okay, I saw your video where whole seed pods were growing. Yeah, Garden with Bernie. I picked it up and showed you all in the video. One germinated here, one here. Then I took the rest of the seeds. Yeah, put them where I wanted to put them. Okay, yeah, never give up. That was my welcome this tonight when you first came in. Never give up. Satan is a lie. He might want you to think that you're not capable of doing this. Just go back and be honest with yourself. After watching 1 or 2 of those videos in somebody else's video, you don't have to watch mine. You can watch whatever you want to watch and be honest with yourself, brutally honest. Could you have done something wrong? Did you forget to water them for about 4 days and they dried all out? Did you put them where there was a draft, the people were coming in and you didn't have a heating pad? You didn't put them in a sunny window after they germinated. Just be honest. And you'll figure it out. Don't give up whatever you do. Bear fruit saying butterflies. Oh, somebody said, what are zinnias good for? You can eat zinnias. You can garnish your salads. You can make your cakes, wedding cakes and everything beautiful. They also attract butterflies and bees and hummingbirds to your garden. Okay? Thanks, Bear Fruit Gardener. Hey, Lady Cheryl, what kind of tea plant can I plant in my garden? I have peppermint, but it takes over everything. Yeah, Cheryl, I am not going to put peppermint in this garden bed because that other one took it over. But I didn't care. It wasn't a mistake. I established a garden bed with just peppermint and Texas Star Hibiscus. And the Texas Star Hibiscus is so strong and vigorous, after 4 years, it'll break through anything. So it grows up to 14 to 20 feet high now. Okay? But the peppermint will creep up under the center blocks and go underground and come out and start spreading. So I'm going to edge all that out. I'm working in my garden and my food forest in phases. I'm tackling one area, then another area, and then another area. So that's going to be like last on the list because I know that peppermint is going to be a monster pull up. Okay, let's not get ahead of me, people. Because I will give you the opportunity to let everybody know you have a YouTube channel, okay? So please not get ahead of the questions. Joyce L. Moore, what kind of hibiscus plant is good for tea? I recommend the Texas Star hibiscus because that's the one that I've been making tea out of for over 5 years, and it works. Now, my research has taught me that any hibiscus, whether it is tropical or cold hardy, can be beneficial to helping to lower the blood pressure. So, it just depends on you and what you're growing. As long as you're growing it organically. Because if you are using pesticides and what is that stuff? insecticides, Seven Dust, uh, neem oil sprays with chemicals in it. That is being absorbed into the ground, into the petals, into the flowers, and you're going to be taking that stuff inside your body. So whatever you do, just make sure that you're growing a hibiscus organically. The Texas Star Hibiscus has a unique fruity flavor, and it gets real deep red, and it tastes wonderful if you just drink it plain with a little honey in it, or a little monk fruit sweetener, or peach. I love peach. And by the way, all my peach trees came back. Well, not all of them. I don't mean all of them. I don't have that many. I have two red havens, one on a regular rootstock and one on a dwarf rootstock, and I have a sunclosed nectarine. And I'm really excited because it looks like I'm gonna get some peaches, more than a handful, you know. And I want to peel them and can them in water to keep my sugar levels down, and I want to dehydrate the skins so that I can use that with the Texas hibiscus tea. Okay. And this lady asked me about tea. It's too late for me, but I will next year put chamomile in there. Oregano makes a good healthy tea. Um, I got a white hibiscus in there, and I have another cold hardy hibiscus that my mother's last surviving sister passed away in November, right after Thanksgiving 2019. And I got some of her seeds because it was cold. It was after Thanksgiving, it was cold, and so it had been through the winter. So the seeds germinated, but I didn't germinate all of them. I kept some, and when I went on a little vacation, I came back in that little pot I had them in, had spider mites all through it, so I threw it away and cleaned the pot out. But I germinated some of her seeds, and I'm going to put that in there as a tribute to my mom and my sister. My aunt looked just like my mother. It was kind of eerie sometimes when I would go home and see her, and my heart would be in my throat because I'm talking to her, and she looked so much like my mother. It was very difficult for me. Okay, so yeah, I hope I gave you some ideas of what to put in there. And then just Google some good organic teas that you can grow in your backyard garden. You don't even have to say that much, and you'll get a list. Teresa Brown says she is in zone 9B and 10A and wants to plant collards and beans from seed in the ground. Teresa Brown, you're in 9B. I wouldn't plant, and 10A, I wouldn't plant any collards right now. It's going to be too hot. I would plant them in the fall, and they'll grow for you all during the winter. I'm in Texas, and you have, a hotter climate than I do, and I don't grow collards in the summertime. But you do have all of April and maybe some of May. Who was in here? I don't know if Dan's Permaculture Food Force is still in here, but he was saying that he don't grow those during next season. He grows them in the cooler seasons because just like me, he can grow all year round. So I wouldn't. Who was that said that? Teresa Brown. I wouldn't plant collards right now. Beans you can. And depending on, what kind of weather you have, as far as, do you get a lot of rain? Is your in the ground, is it going to wash out? See, I can't plant a lot of things in the ground, except mature fruit trees. I keep them in a container for 3 years, and then I put them in a raised bed or in the ground. Because if I take a tree right now and just dug up in the ground and stuck it in there, we're getting ready to get a whole lot of rain. They died. And I'm telling you, because y'all say it with me, because I've killed a lot of trees. I say it every week. And I'm not ashamed, because I learned, and I can pass that information on to you. Does basil prevent pests? Some people say they do, yes, and they say that they make the tomatoes sweeter. But I really don't know. Some of these companion planting is not real scientific. It's based upon experience. And for example, if you Google, tell me scientifically, how does basil, y'all know what I'm trying to say, not make insects take over or whatever. And look what your answer is. It's a belief that they do, okay? But there are other things that can prevent pests. One is the marigolds. I grow lemon balm. I grow lemongrass, lavender. And these are all essential oils that I work with. What is that other one? Oh, I'll think of it tonight when I'm in bed, but it's called the mosquito plant. Somebody help me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, to answer your question, the solo, it is believed that basil will prevent you from getting some pests. But when you start making homemade mosquito sprays and things like that, basil is not one of the ingredients that is listed for that. I have a lot of catastrophes with plant, so I just keep dropping seeds. Go ahead, Yankee sister. That's right. Never, ever, ever give up. What kind of hibiscus? I think I answered this already, Joyce. That is good for tea. I have a white and a pink variety, either one. But I shared that Texas Star hibiscus with everybody because that is one that I tried and have been using for years, and it has really helped me. I say every week, the doctor said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Lady Cheryl, I have been, okay, I think it's saying, I got that arrow. Centrola, thank you, Broke Farmer. Thank you, Wanda B. And I was thinking S, like sin, S-I-N, but I couldn't think of it. That's why it wouldn't come out. Hi, A. Fisher. Okay, let me go back. I'm trying to get that. Centrola, Veggie Farm, thank you. Does Hawaiian hibiscus, and I don't know what that other one, must be Chinese hibiscus work. I don't know the sweet spot. Only thing I can tell you is just try it. If you're growing it organically, just try it. I hate dollar weed too. Somebody want to know if I'm still doing the Zoom class for pressure candy. Yes, it's April, what I tell you guys, April 11th at noon. Email me for details. It's $30 for 2 hours and 15 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, if you're available to do it. Email me. It is in any of my videos except this one in the description box. But it is, I could put it in here real quick for you. Let me see. Say something. Now, you don't have to put these caps. Enter. I think I did it. Yep, there it is. Growing with Hudson said, I love your intro and your voice. Thank you. Thank you, Growing with Hudson. I grew up, in the gospel choir and church and stuff. And then I had to have thyroid surgery to have a tumor removed that was wrapped around my esophagus, and it damaged my vocal cords. And I'm trying to remember what my brother said. He said I shouldn't be complaining about you can't sing like you used to, and just be grateful for the voice that you have left. Because there's some people have surgeries and they can't talk. You know what I mean? So thank you. I appreciate that. I love the Lord and I love singing. I love to sing. But now I don't sing that much around people I sing out in my garden. I sing to my mama while I'm walking around that garden, and to my aunt and my father. And I just be talking to my plants. If you didn't know I was singing, you probably thought it was crazy. But I just sing and just be gardening, and I don't care who hear it. I really don't. I really don't. I think when you get a certain age, stuff don't bother you, or you don't allow things to bother you. Okay, the same basil essential oil that's healthy for humans has a smell that garden bugs like to avoid. Thank you very much, Gardener99. Thank you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Think y'all having a conversation. Gardening with Bernie, Hudson, all of you all just speaking, I guess. Thank you. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. Everybody, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, goodness. Centrola. Okay, Bobby, thank you. Bobby Wilson, you had it too. Yes, Miss Nene says she made the mistake of planting lemon balm with all the other herbs, and she has been since taking over. Right. It smells good, but it will take over. So some things I would plant in a container. Yes, TLP gardening. It was Centrola. Okay, here's another one. You didn't put it in caps, but I recognize it. Seed Addicts wants to know, have you grown stevia from seed? Yes, I have. And it's real slow to grow. And I still got some seeds, but if I have to do it again, I would buy some transplants. And it did not do well in real hot weather, so I would put it up under the umbrella, because I'm not going to do gazebos for a while. I bought one of those triple umbrellas, 3 umbrellas together. And yeah, I would keep it shaded like I would do my ginger and my turmeric. About June, the last of June, July, it gets so hot down here, I have to give it shade most of the day. But it smells delicious. And I like lemongrass. And I like lemongrass tea. But I don't want to put lemongrass in the tea garden. But I have it in 2 5-gallon buckets that I'm going to decorate and put it on either side of the tea garden. Also, guys, watch the sun. I'm constantly outside. And that's why I have to wear the mask sometimes when I'm out there, because I get a lot of allergy reactions. And today I was noticing something, and I'm gonna share it with you in the video. I'll probably drop it Wednesday morning. I noticed that the sun does not be, it's not, a certain area of where the tea garden is shaded, or right in front of the tea garden. So I'm gonna move those 2 antique chairs that I talked about in the other video. I'm gonna move them in a different position so that I can sit out there in the morning. Yeah, lemon balm is beautiful, but it will be invasive too. And I have 2 trees I noticed. Actually, I saw 4 trees that are coming out of dormancy today. 2 mimosa trees. They're like little sticks. I grew them from seeds that I bought from a merchant on eBay. This will be the 3rd year. And I put them in the ground last fall with Brian and Bria, my grandchildren. And I thought they were going to die because it was so cold, but I noticed right on the tip, I saw green come in. And it's amazing, because some of them will leaf out at the bottom, some leaf out at the top, some leaf out in the middle. My jujube, I thought I was going to have to chop it down about 5 or 6 feet. And today I noticed that it was starting to leaf out at the top, so it's doing fine. The other tree I saw that's leafing out is one of my pawpaw trees and my Yates persimmon. And I bent back some of the leaves. Let me share something with you about fruit trees. I guess I'm going to use this. I don't see anything else flexible. If you bend it back like that and it doesn't snap on a little branch, it still has moisture. And then if you scratch it and you see green, it's okay. But if you bend it back a little bit on the tips of the branch and it snaps right off, I guarantee you it's brown through and through, because it gets real dry, and it'll break off. So I was just snapping little small twigs on my Fuyu persimmon, but it's alive. And I think I've shared with you in a couple videos that the biggest tree I have in my food forest is my Gala apple tree. Every year it starts to bloom and produce leaves, and right after that, apples in February. Too soon. Well, we got the hard freeze, the low 3 degree temperature, and it was cold, below freezing for the whole days, like 5 days. Well, that tree is in shock. It is still green. It's still flexible, pliable, but it won't leaf out. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to let it stay there until it either leaves out or if it's dead. Hey, Growing with Hudson. I don't know if I spoke to you before. Oh, that's what you all were doing. Y'all all speaking to each other. So let me go back. Yes, Donnie. Gala apples are delicious. Now, that's going to hurt if I can't get that one to come back. Hey, Missy Grando. Thank you for being here. And you speaking to Best Yet. I didn't see her come in. So thank you, Best Yet, for being here. Hey, Joy. Gardening and Cocktails with Joy. My peach tree died. My peach tree from last year died. I'm sorry, Joy. I really am. Because you are not alone. I've lost a lot of trees this year. Okay. Dolce Pronto. Hello, how are you? Auntie's Garden, how are you doing? Clausen World, how you doing? Good evening, she says, everyone, and Lady Cheryl. And Dolce Pronto said the plum tree died. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I've got a Santa Rosa plum, one wild plum, 3 methyl plums, and they all are leafing out. So I don't think I'm going to lose any of those, thank goodness. And for the first time, I'm seeing what I think is the beginning of plums on those methyl plums, because they are all less than 3 years old. But I think we're going to get plums this year. So it happened to a lot of people. I lost a lot of sprouts during this storm. Zen Grower says she's trying to save her blueberry bush. Yeah, it's rough out here, guys. My life child, she loves and appreciates. Oh, exactly. And I was getting ready to say something about Best Yet and Gardening and Cocktails with Joy. I wanted one of those drinks that y'all was making. I don't even drink liquor, but it looked so good I wanted it. Had that marmalade in it that Best Yet had made and did a video on it. And a perfect example of what I said, you don't need to quit and give up on something, because I think when she canned it, water bath candy, I'm almost certain the first time it didn't gel up. And she redid it again and it gelled up. Was she going to just throw all that away? No. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And then she went to visit Gardening and Cocktails with Joy. I might be saying that name out of sequence. And Joy incorporated that marmalade into that drink. And by the way, Joy, I really enjoy your channel. You are a very creative person. You and Best Yet should do more things together, because both of you have similar personalities. And believe it or not, you are attracted to people like you. And both of you are very creative. The she shed with Best Yet laying it out. I mean, it's just wonderful. And it does my heart proud to see that you all were uniting and doing that video together. Some people don't want to support you, or they're afraid there's a new kid on the block and they're going to get more views than you get. That's crazy. Help everybody that you can. Now, what I'm going to tell you, Miss Joy, they were out, they being Whole Foods that I have delivered to the house. They have been out of the egg roll wraps since I saw your video with the collard greens. Well, I just keep ordering them every week. And they came in. And you see these right here? These are my hot and spicy greens. That's what it says, hot and spicy. I'm going to drain these in the strainer, and I'm wrapping up them bad boys in them egg rolls, and I'm going to air fry some. In case they don't turn out right, I'm going to deep fry some. I'm going to treat myself, okay? Because I've been dying to have some since I saw you make them. So we are to all inspire and motivate each other, okay? Let's not be petty and think somebody's going to get more subscribers than you or more recognition. Because I'm going to tell you, whatever the Lord has for you is for you. And nobody can take it from you. The world can't take it from you, and the world didn't give it to you. So support everybody. And I love my nephew. My nephew, Paul Farmer. He don't fake the funk, y'all. He get in there and he holds his chats, and he'll let you know. I may not know about that, but I know about this. And he equally, I was gonna say reverence, but that sounds too biblical. He's good at recognizing people's strong suits and acknowledging that. Why do you think people? No, say this. Why do you think you like people? Somebody tell me. Why do you think people like you? Anybody? Take a guess at it. Come on now. Let's have some church up in here. Yankee sister. Broke Farmer said personality. Sweet Spot said Broke Farmer's the truth. He is like a real cousin because they make you feel good about yourself because you have a connection and realness. And Besha said she loved people. Helena Tyler said they see themselves. Honesty. All of these things are correct. So people can like you or dislike you because they want to be you and they can't, or they see themselves in you. And another real thing, a psychologist told me this. I went in therapy. It was a management class I was taking. I'm just kidding. She said, you like people because they like you. Think about it. How many of you all are single and you didn't pay anybody, a guy or a girl, any attention until they started flirting with you, and then you saw that they were serious, and you never looked at that dude before at all? Then you said, he got a good job. Got a nice car, nice personality. He easy on the eyes. And he likes me. He likes me. Then you become attracted. So you attract what you are, and you see yourselves in people, and you see that a person is genuine. You see that a person is honest. All of these things that you listed. Hey, across the world, I'm not even kidding about the therapy. If I went to therapy, I'd be the first person to tell you. In fact, I'll be the first person to tell you I probably need to go to therapy. Okay? Because that's a stigma we have in some cultural backgrounds about mental health. So I was just only making a joke. But yeah, you see yourself in a person, or you want to be like that person. Okay? So I can see that connection between Best Yet and Joy because they are very similar. Now, opposites can attract too. Okay? Somebody can be real passive, and the other one is more outgoing, but maybe that one that's outgoing is a hothead. So the passive one says, hey, calm down. You don't have to react to everything. You need to respond. Pick your battles. And then the one that's real outgoing may help that other one. Come on, girl, let's go over here. Let's check this out. They got to get sealed on fruit trees. I heard about it. And like, oh, they ain't going to have nothing. Come on. So you can help each other. And my mom taught me this. She said, in relationships, I'm talking about any type of relationship. I'm not talking about romantic. People will come into your life for you to learn something from them, or you teach them something. So it's a beautiful thing when you both are giving and you're getting something out of the relationship. and you see each other as equals, although your personalities can be different. Okay, just a few pearls from Cheryl. I had to throw that out there. Okay. Are there any other questions? Kathy Rivers, thank you for being here. Give and take. Yes, Dancha. I hope I'm saying that right, but I know I'm saying pronto right. Law of attraction. Yes, Gardner 99. You are a very, very smart person. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. And if you all haven't checked out Gardening with Joy and Drinks, I forgot, let me find her. Because Gardening and Cocktails with Joy, check out her channel. Check out Tommy's channel. Check out Clausen World. Right now, I'm going to let all of you all put your zone and just say yes. And that means, because when we have the replay, people can go back and they can check out your channel. Because in the last 2 lives, I subscribed to about 10 of you all that I've been really watching your videos. If I'm mixing up shea butter, or I'm making my pain butter, or if I'm making hair rubber motor, I may not be watching you, but I'll hear everything that you're saying. Okay? All right. Somebody already want to register for the class, and I'll tell you the next step. But I'm going to wait. I'll answer your email probably in the morning, but I'm going to wait until I have at least 6 people. Okay? Okay. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have personality traits. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Oh, somebody said something real. Positive attitude. Yolanda, you are so right. How many of you had a friend that you really liked, but all they did was whine, and they were so negative, I wouldn't even answer the phone. This was before caller ID. I was afraid to answer the phone to anybody. I used to tell my kids to call, let it ring one time, hang up, and then call it again. Then I know it's them. I picked up the next call. That was before we had caller ID. Because I just didn't want to answer the phone. I just didn't want to hear them. Because you can be having a good day, everything going fine, and then that phone ring and it be that old whiny Susan on the phone. You know, don't you ever have a good day? You can practice having a good day. If you just start off saying you're going to have a good day, you're going to have a good day. Okay? One of my very dear friends, I've never met her in person. Her name is Mercedes Herman. She's a retired RN and a licensed hypnotist. And this stage in her life, she's doing cabaret singing. So they're doing it on Zoom because they can't go in and rehearse, since the pandemic. And she puts on some inspirational, either she'll do a video clip or she'll just tell you a little story, or she'll be saying good night with something in the past. It's all positive. And she said something that really struck a chord in me. She said, I'm trying to phrase it the right way. She was talking about the vaccinations for COVID-19. And she said, don't rehearse the symptoms. Think about it. If you keep reading all the symptoms, you get a headache, you get chills, you get fever, you get tired, blah, 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 blah. The first one you think you got, oh my God, I'm having a reaction. She said, don't rehearse them. Get plenty of rest, have your fluids, have your soup, take your vitamins, up to, getting your body ready for it. But don't rehearse all the bad symptoms. That's just like when you have an ache and you start Googling and next thing you know, you're going to diagnose yourself with pancreatic cancer. So don't go off on the deep end. So I really love this lady. I've never, ever met her in person. I met her through social media. She said, one day when this is over, we're going to get together and we're going to meet. And I'm looking forward to that. In fact, she said she's going to come to Texas. And she is welcome anytime. Hey, Missy Grando. I think I spoke to you already. Okay. All right. Okay. That's how it works. Like Brooke's accent. Yes. Broke Farmer. Yes. Kathy Rivers, thank you for being here. Okay, I'm just making sure. Oh, Why do we put Epsom salt in the garden? A lot of people believe that it will make peppers and tomatoes sweeter. Some people say it help them come out of shock. I used to use Epsom salt. I don't use it anymore because I use azimite rock dust, and it has some of that in there. So I don't use it anymore. But there's nothing wrong with using it. Okay, did anybody start putting down their zone and if they have a YouTube channel? Okay, come on, guys. I know Beshette has a channel. Something about the okra water. Once a day. Growing with Hudson once a day, the okra water. And Judy says she used the Epsom salt when her cucumbers are bigger. Okay, great. Yes, it's coming now. I want all of these people that have a channel. Thank you, love lady. Ramona Jones wants y'all to know she don't have a channel, but she's an AB, and y'all need to just go and subscribe to her. Maybe she'll subscribe back to you. That's funny. Nothing wrong with that, Ramona. And even if you have a channel and you don't have a lot of videos on it, watch them. Somebody, I don't know who it was, but they went back and they watched one of my old videos and let me know that I'm even watching your old ones. I appreciate it too. Somebody has a channel, but she doesn't have any content up yet. No frowning face. At least you're getting the ball rolling. Honey, I started off with 30-second little public service announcements in my garden. Then we went to a minute. Then we went to 5 minutes. I mean, just do a little something. Just check in. I don't care if it's less than a minute. And there's somebody in here that sent me some videos that wanted me to critique. I've been so busy I haven't had a chance, but I'll get to you. By the chance, if you're in here, you don't have to say anything. I'll get to them. Probably about Thursday. See, okay, is that it? Do you have any canning questions? Veggie Farm is getting her channel together. Very good. Anybody have any canning questions? I thought I was going to get more canning questions tonight. Okay, for some reason I lost my connection, but I'm back. That's what the hypnotist was saying, the RN. If you keep rehearsing those symptoms in your head, you're going to have them. Or think you have them. Because your mind is, like you said, Tiny Texas Garden, is very, very powerful. And you're thinking about it so much, you're going to have it. I can't pronounce this name, but thank you for being here. Herosity, thank you for being here. Okay, Beshette said she had a question. What is it, Beshette? Or is that the one about the Epsom salt? How to save a dying mango tree. That would be Dan's Permaculture Food Forest. He is growing a lot of mangoes. And he's also on Instagram. Okay, so I think that's it. Have you made, yes, barbecue sauce, cream of the crop. I sure have. And I pressure canned it. So it was my late husband's recipe. Ty Lily, please just put your video on YouTube. We will help you. She said, I made a video yesterday. I want to put it up on YouTube so you can use any tips and facts. Put it up. Put it up after you finish editing and we'll help you. And in your description box, you put in there, this is my very first video. If you have any pointers that can help me, please feel free to leave your comments. Now, some people don't want you to critique. I have to be very careful when I'm watching somebody's video. Even if I see something wrong, I know that person is sensitive because of something I said before. I try to find something positive to put on it. Now, if I know that they love me and I love them, if it's Angela's Busy Bee Garden, if it's Best Yet, I know they would not appreciate me not telling them. And so I'll tell them. But if it's something that I think is going to be embarrassing, I'll tell them to email me. So you can tell people to email you, and you can put your email there if it's something that you don't want everybody to read. But we all have to start. So let me share this with you. When I first started filming with my iPhone, I was filming like this. And so all this was black and this was black. And just something simple as a lady told me, turn my phone the other way. And then, oh, y'all seeing my boyfriend. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm a writer. That's the guy that's in my book. Thank you very much for the cash app. Who was that? But I did not know that you, what do you call that, portrait mode? I had no idea. And somebody told me just turn my phone around. Oh, Bessie, you said, let me see him. Okay. This is the guy that's in the romantic lead in my book. I just saw him in a magazine and snapped the picture. Look at those guns on those shoulders. I don't know who that guy is. But anyway, hey, Margaret Evans. Yeah, and one lady told me to clean off my phone. It was like 5 years ago. And I was writing this. And all I had to do was just wipe that off because it was making it blurry. So it didn't bother me because I know I needed help. I was in a group and I was posting a video about 2 minutes long every 2 or 3 days. And one of the moderators contacted me through direct message, dropped in my DMs and said, it probably would help if you would make your videos a little longer and only post one every 2 weeks. He was right. Now, there's a thing out since the pandemic, everybody doing these hashtag short movies. You know, less than a minute, less than 5 minutes. And those are cool. I say short video because I'm not a follower. So if you put into the search engine short video, you're probably going to come to mine. But if you just put hashtag short, you're going to get a whole lot of people. So that's where I did mine like that. Okay, guys. I'm going to say goodnight to you. If there aren't any other questions, yes, turn it like you look at TV. Lord help you, Cougar. Oh, come on, Tommy. I'm just kidding. That man in that video probably younger than my baby son. Okay, good night, everybody. You guys know I love you and God loves you too. And don't forget, if you want to participate in that canning class, email me. I'll put you on the list, and I'll go through the steps, what we need to do. And be prepared for prices going up. So if you're in the store shopping, Tommy does some wonderful prepping and showing you what's in her pantry. I saw your last video, Tommy. I'm not sure if I commented. I think I did. Get ready and stay ready for anything. It could be a ship tomorrow, another disease, another virus, 2 months from now. Okay? All right. Good night, everybody. Love you. God loves you too.